structured this way to where there's a punitive side. The punitive side, well, to give you an idea from the Cressa standpoint, the amount of money that they would lose in relation to all of this and what it means to their budgets, the new radio systems in the next 2 or 3 years notwithstanding. I talked with Bill Barron last week, and he has 2 alternatives. One is the cities and the municipalities that are involved in the Cressa system pick up the additional. The worst case scenario is he lays off 16 dispatchers, which absolutely devastates. I believe, what was the number? There would be 1 dispatcher for 40 units at best.
Yeah, I don't think we should allow that to happen. My concern here is strictly the way the state treats us. And, you know, you said you've never seen one like this. That thing on the commute reduction program, same type of thing.
Doesn't have this kind of devastation to
it
a
doesn't.
public safety program,
But
it literally gets people there for you when you need them.
It came with a financial disincentive not to do it.
Understood.
I think that's pretty arrogant.
John?
So what is it you need us to do? You just need us to make a motion to pass this, to send a letter to the commissioners?
Encouraging them to take up the issue. Right now, they don't have the votes for it.
Okay. If there is anything else that we need to do as individual council members, will you guys let us know as far as applying additional pressure?
I think this is one of those that it's a double-edged sword. Nobody wants to raise the specter of increasing any tax, even by a penny, where we're at. But what this one does to everything, it kind of flies in the face of all that as well.
Well, it's a use tax too, right? I mean, it's, so.
I just read a line in here that leaves me a little puzzled. It says the new law only allows excise tax revenue to be used for 911 related items, not for radio equipment under the current law. So my question is, can you still spend the original 50 cents on radio equipment, or is that no longer allowed?
I don't know.
I can look that up for you and get back to you.
Yeah, it's just a curiosity on
The
my
intent
part.
was that this new, in effect, 70 cents replaces the old 50 cents and goes by the new rules of the full 70 cents, but I don't know that for sure. Because I know the Cressa board is still grappling with having to pay for $50 million of radio
Exactly.
complete changeovers
Yeah.
in the next 3 years. So
Yeah, exactly, and so it's an interesting question.
say that's one side where the state covered themselves on both sides. Molly?
I would say, coming from a communications background, I've been watching communications charges on all these different things for a long time. I mean, way before I was a member of council, and it's been frustrating to me. This one is frustrating to me, but I would have to say that I have to take a look at what we're going to gain and what we're going to lose with this one. And so if I look at it in those terms, unfortunately, I would have to say I would support this, because what we're going to gain is enormous. What we're going to lose is enormous, and if we don't do it, it just it's not a good deal. But
Well, again, just to be clear, you know, all we would be doing is sending a letter of support urging the county commissioners to hopefully adopt and enact the additional 20 cents. The county commissioners are the ones charged with passing it the way that the state law was written, county by county. Ron?
I would suspect, and when you presented this to us, I don't know that you said anything about the rest of the state, but if they're playing that with Clark County, any other enhanced 911 system is exactly in the same boat.
Sure.
Either you play
absolutely.
And now, what's the stance from the police chiefs and the fire chiefs? What's the latest?
Well, the fire chiefs already sent a letter off. So.
I'm looking into police. I don't know that they have. No one's contacted me in regards to.
When we were talking about it at our public safety meeting, you know, the thing that, and as much as I don't want to see that 20 cents go in, at least it spreads it out over everybody that's using those cell phones. That's the only thing about that everybody and their kids that have got cell phones are going to be a part of this. But You know, if we don't do this, it looks to me like it comes out of our funds. I mean, at the least, it's 85,000 that's coming from our funding of our, you know.
Additional.
Yeah.
If any council members have any concerns on this, if you would meet sure and individually let me know in the next couple of days. The county, the group of mayors in the county are taking the issue up on Wednesday at a meeting, so definitely want to know at that point. I don't want to misrepresent where the council of the city may be going, but every other mayor is also saying there's no way we can afford that one, so.
I just have a question, going a bit further when you're talking about the layoffs. Don't they have standards as far as service standards? How can they
What is
say
it?
they're going to cut back on their operators and still service the same number of vehicles or the same amount of citizens? I mean, that, what I don't understand is why this is optional, and maybe there is something else behind it. I mean, you've got to wonder.
Yeah, I know Bill was just taking it from a worst-case scenario. If they have to take the entire hit in there with everything else they've got going, they don't have an option. I mean, if you don't have the money coming in, then you don't pick up the money anywhere else. Now, that was his.
Well, is it just because it costs so much more? Is it really going to cost $450,000 more for Clark County to do this?
For what the state's going to withhold from their current funding level, yeah.
Why?
That would be the question for the state legislators.
I mean, I'm just blown away.
I think
That's
so was everybody else on the public
insane.
safety side of the world. And the unfortunate part is, you know, again, it doesn't get to a point where, especially in Clark County, that it goes jurisdiction by jurisdiction. It is only the county commissioners that are allowed to pass
I
it
would
and
think
enact
that,
it for all of us or not.
the county, the state, and even cities possibly would be opening themselves up for huge lawsuits from people who don't get, or get put on hold by 911, or don't get their call answered in a
Don't
timely
get
manner, or
answered.
don't get served in a timely manner. I mean, this is, I don't know, I don't understand.
This has some amazing implications. That's why I said, and it gets very complicated when you get down into it because of the layers that the state put in there of if you don't do X, then we do Y, and you also do Z. So,
But why would they say this is optional? And then come back and say, well, if you don't implement it, then it's really not optional.
for some, I don't know what the status of all the counties are and all the dispatch centers. You know, there may be some that are able to take the hit.
I really would like to hear, I guess, more from the county commissioners and what they know that we don't know, and why they would say, no, we're not gonna implement it. And then, you know, the state goes around the county to the individual cities, to, you know, the fire departments and the chiefs and everybody under the sun.
Call
To
Mark,
get them to send letters.
call Mark Bolt, he'll talk to you.
Actually, you need to call Tom. Tom is the one that's saying no.
Tom Milk, really? Does it have to be a unanimous vote or something,
Nope.
or, no?
It's 1-1 and 1 at the moment.
There's a third side?
There's 3 commissioners.
No, I mean, either.
Yes, no,
You said
what's
1,
the
1,
other
and
option?
1.